Hello strangers, my name's Cable, and we are back playing the Willowmist Emporium of Antiques and Curiosities. This is my third recording session because my Wi-Fi decided to kill itself, which is not great because I was hoping to delay this until tomorrow. But, with all that being said, we're just going to hop right in, no need to busy about. There we go. Again, I feel like I've said this I feel like I've said this multiple times, but whilst I do love the opening theme, dear God, it's loud. This is from what we did yesterday, so, as we call instead, we see the end of day 4, and the beginning of day 5. I still love this, it's so good. I've only got 3 days left. The sing-songy chirping of a group of small bluebirds on your windowsill woke you from your sleep. You sat up and yawned, stretching out your shoulders with a pop. I'm sure that's not meant to pop. Rubbing your bleary eyes, memories of last night suddenly resurfaced. Filled with alarm, you searched out the book you'd found and noticed that there was nothing on your table anymore. Was that all a dream? God, I need to stop watching TV or something. Abruptly, a book fell onto your lap as if someone had dropped it. A very familiar, leather-bound book. Hell, does this place have a second ghost or something? Absent-mindedly, you began... Absent-mindedly... Oh, you cannot say that word. Absent-mindedly, you began to flick through the pages, but instead of being greeted with a journal like you expected, you found strange, intricate drawings, almost like sigils. Intricate drawings, almost like sigils. It looked old, but incredibly well kept, and you couldn't read a word of it. How the... You flicked to the front, and in the bottom corner of the page was a single word, or in this case, a name. Marigold. Huh. Is this Aunt Sylvie's? There's also going on around here. Ghosts and knights, sure, but around here are different. Does that mean she was too? It did make sense to you, kind of. Your aunt was all strange in a curious way. Okay, Mr. Book, I'm going to leave you here, but I'll come back to you later tonight, I promise. There's no need to follow me around the store, right? I've got work to do, but trust me, you and I have a date tonight, alright? Don't go anywhere. You set the leather-bound book carefully on your desk, taking note of exactly where you left it. All you wanted to do at that moment was find answers, but instead you turned to your door. There was work to be done, inventory needed sorting, bills to be paid, and customers waited to come spend their hard-earned money. And talk to you, apparently, since that's what your aunt did. Help people. Okay, we've already sorted through storage yesterday, and we do need to clean today, so we'll man the counter, then we'll clean the store. I don't know what the best aim for the cleanliness is, but I'm assuming 2/3. You're sitting behind the counter when the door opens and a short figure steps in, framed by the sun. Hi, I'm glad your store is still here. It wouldn't have been concerning. It would have been concerning if it wasn't. Yes, exactly. I'm very happy. Did your mum like her birthday present? She smiled all day and night, and she's a good smiler. I'm so glad to hear it. Can I help you with anything else today? You're back so soon. I didn't realize kids your age were so into antiques. The shop smells like fun, so I wanted to come back. Maybe I'll find something else to make Mum smile. Day is always good when she smiles. Sorry, I thought I saw someone outside with a bit of a weird backpack. Which is a really weird thing to say. But hey. I guess I am observant. Sorry, because I need to establish, I am right by the window on the bottom floor of a house across a main street. You probably heard that in the background, much to my own chagrin. So, yeah, it's nice to look out. Sorry, just say that now, because it's a fun little factoid. She tiptoed across the floor with that same light, careful gait, as if she barely needed to step on the ground to move. It was strange, but interesting. Her path curved toward a large and tall antique mirror leaning against a shelf. The glass was a little fogged at the edges, silvery where the silver ring had flaked. It's a pretty mirror, isn't it? But unfortunately it's off sale. I might be able to find you something similar though. When you look at yourself, how do you know it's really you? That's a pretty big question for an otherwise quiet day. I like big questions. They fit more wonder inside. You stepped closer. In the mirror, your reflections lined up side by side. For a heartbeat, something had flickered. Vivi's mixed-matched eyes swapped left to right. And then the glass looked perfectly normal. You blinked once, twice, confused. Well... Huh, ooh! Oh, that's not a good question. I suppose I know it's me because I remember being me. I've had this face forever. How could I be anyone but me? The history is heavy and memories can change. Do you think they could ever take a person away from their reflection? Sometimes I feel like I don't deserve my reflection. Like I'm wearing like I'm wearing something very beautiful that belongs to someone else. If I breathe too loud, then you might notice and ask for it back. But I want to keep it. She pressed her fingertip almost, but not quite, against the glass, then dropped her hands abruptly and turned back to you. Maybe you can share your reflection then, that's not so bad. Sharing is nice. Thank you for answering. Of course. Can I stay here a while longer? Just a little, until my mum is done shopping. Sure, take as much time as you need. By the way, shouldn't you be at school? Not today. I only go to school on the days I can remember to. Doesn't your mum mind? Mum likes it more when we're together. I think you'd like her. She's a very good mum. Vivi wandered around, away from the mirror, her hands hovering over shelves until she paused at a display of small broken trinkets waiting in a discount bin. There's a cracked porcelain doll head, a chipped teacup, and a wind-up toy missing its faceplate. Can I touch these? Then I guess they're too down to sell anyway. If you find anything you like, you can just take it. She crouched down and gently lifted the doll head, tilting it this way and that. Then she picked up the broken toy and studied the round space where its face upon its beam. Mismatched eyes lit up with some curious idea. With surprising deftness, she set the porcelain doll head against the toy's body, pressing the edges until they fit with a strange, uncanny snugness. The toy stared back at you with wide, painted doll eyes, its small key clicking faintly when Vivi gave it a turn. The toy stared back at you with wide, painted doll eyes, its small key clicking faintly when Vivi gave it a twist. That sounded like a slur. The figure lurched forward with a stuttering hop, the borrowed face bobbing as if it belonged there all along. See? Now they're both happier. The doll gets to move again, and the toy isn't faceless anymore. It's better when broken things share their parts. Then no one has to be alone. That's creative. I don't think I would have thought that. They're both happier now, even if one is gone and the other is a bit wrong. I'm impressed, Vivi. I just hired you to fix all our broken stuff. I could help, but Mum is done shopping, so I have to go. I'll go back later if that's okay. I'd like that. Have a nice day, Vivi. I tell your Mum I said hello. I will. She'll like you, I think. Both smell like home. Oh, that's a new one. She gave a small wave, then left the store. You stared down at the strange mismatched doll and wondered what it could possibly mean. Yay, we're besties! Oh, that's lovely. We're still missing a single character and I don't know who it could possibly be. Okay, let's see. We thought we'll have that. And that's about, I'm going to say, 15 for you. Actually, no, I should probably also reduce these prices. Let's reduce this one to 30. Good. No, 30. Nope, I said 30, thank you. We're going to change this to 8. Actually, no, we're going to change this to 5. And this one to... let's do 25. She gave a small way. You got seated behind the counter, ready for today's customers. The bells chime and a customer comes inside. You are taking over the store wonderfully in my lovely Sylvie's absence, Cable. Welcome! Christmas bells brooch. It stirs the heart like a forgotten ballad. Wonderful. I shall buy it. Inspiration already stirs within me. Wearing this, you can be Christmas all year round. Sold the Christmas bells brooch. Sold Christmas bells brooch for $5. Adieu for now, but not for long. I promise you that. See you next time. The customer leaves the store. You saw one customer today, but no one else is coming now. Loads of money. Okay. You had just stepped away from the counter to grab lunch when the door opened and Florian came waltzing in, covered in... You had just stepped away from the counter to grab lunch when the door opened. Florian came waltzing in, covered once again with his sunglasses and bucket hat. Florian! Hey. How are you feeling? Did you get some sleep? Deep set bags under his eyes didn't look very promising. I'm fine enough to work. Well, if you say so, but you should think about going to see a doctor or something if it continues. Did I tell you to stop worrying about me? Yeah, but no one said I had to listen. Good day, Sir Florian. Good day, Sir Florian. Pray forgive my intrusion. Might I inquire about this peculiar contraption you have hanging from your pocket? I've never seen its like before. Lucille stepped over from the side of the store, helmet under arm. She gestured towards a pair of headphones connected to Florian's phone, which was half hanging out of his pocket. It's a pair of headphones. Headphones, a peculiar name. I've heard of a phone owing to Lady Silver, but not these headphones. They're tiny mini phones they put into your ears, and they put the screen in your brain. Winnie popped up out from out of nowhere, grinning at Lucille. Is that so? What? No, she's bullshitting you. They're just little speakers. You have to be careful, or the tiny phones will invade your ears and take over your mind. That is quite terrifying, Lady Winona. I believe I'll keep my distance from these headphones. I'm telling you, she's lying. Look, you listen to music through them. Florian held the headphones out to Lucille, who raised her hand. My warmest thanks, but I believe it best to let my ears remain free of such intrusions. Why do you never listen to me? She's playing a trick on you. I do not believe Lady Winona would lead me astray. And I would. Winnie's messing with you. Really, they're just for listening to music. You might like them. Thank you, Cable, but if that's truly the case, there's plenty of music to hear without using technology I do not understand. The singing of birds, the rustling of leaves. I believe I'll make do for now. Man, I'm too tired of this shit. Perhaps a caffeinated beverage could be of assistance, Sir Florian. I should go fetch you one. Cable? Coffee! Could you give me a coffee? That'll be no problem. Lady Winona, I apologise that I cannot offer you. That'll be no problem, Lady Winona. I apologise that I cannot offer you a beverage too. It's okay, Lucy. I'll just do it from afar. You really don't need to. I shall be back post-haste. At that, Lucille left out the front door, a spring and a step. I'm gonna keep practicing. Bye-bye, lazy bones. Winnie floated back up and through the ceiling. You aren't sure you'd ever got used to... Winnie floated back up and through the ceiling. You aren't sure you'd ever get used to that. Seriously, are you doing alright? It's just some personal shit. It's nothing to do with work. Right, but don't overwork yourself too much, yeah? Actually, I've got you a second later. I wanted to talk to you. Why? I guess you're kind of the person I know best in town. Why? I'm not the kind of person that people confide in. I disagree. You're really easy to talk to. What is it? I found something. Congratulations. Would you prefer a ribbon or a medal? Is both an option? No. Damn, you got me all excited for no reason. But seriously, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was a tornado in my room. Right, I had a tornado in your room. You're not taking me seriously right now? No shit. You're telling me there was a tornado in your room. Okay, listen. Not a tornado exactly, but a lot of wind and leaves, and they were swirling around me. Uh-huh. And they led me to a book I can't read, but that doesn't matter right now. As soon as I touched it, it all disappeared. What's going on here? Are you an idiot or something? But where's that coming from? And yeah, probably. I told you, this town is full of all kinds of people. That includes your aunt. There's probably a reason she wanted you to come take over. She always has a reason, she just never actually tells anyone about them. I think she gets off on leaving people confused. It's just... A week ago, if you told me that ghosts and time-travelling knights and magic books existed, I would call you crazy. Now I'm just meant to accept all of that? I don't know. You're doing a pretty good job of it. Am I? Do you like Winnie and Lucille? Of course, they're both great. So who cares if they're a little different? And what about me? Maybe a little different too. Does it matter? Well, no, but it's just kind of tossing everything I thought I knew to the wind. Yeah, well, that's life. One day you're a normal person doing normal shit, and the next everything's turned upside down without your permission. Speaking from experience there? I don't know what you're talking about. If you say so. Anyway, thanks, Florian. I guess I just have to be open-minded. I mean, I can't just not believe any of it's true, seeing as the evidence is right in front of my eyes. Can't watch away fighting with a tornado in your bedroom. Can't watch away fighting with a bedroom in your tornado. Can't watch away fighting with a tornado in your bedroom. It wasn't like that. My apologies for the wait, my friends. Wait, what? You were gone on for all of 5 minutes. A midday jog helps me clear my mind. Please enjoy. She placed down a small tray on the counter with 3 drinks carefully tucked into it. You quickly took yours, glad for it, and Lucille picked up something floral smelling. What have you got there? The shopkeep called it a white berry forest tea. I will admit I have not yet tried such a thing, but I tend to keep away from coffee. I said you didn't have to get me anything. It'd be unbecoming of a night to offer a drink to Cable and not you, said Florian. Please. I'm not thirsty. Truly? Then I apologize. I don't mean to make you uncomfortable. I mean, it's not... With a grumble, Florian picked up his drink. It's not like strong, dark, rich coffee. There, are you happy now? I've got work to do. With that, he took off, coffee in hand. Is he always so pleasant? If by pleasant you mean acts as if some neighbour that father's morning gruel, then yes. Sir Florian has been rather somber from the moment we met some months ago now. Well, I guess even Grumpy is charming in his own way. I'm sure he has his reasons. That is true. If I were to speak my mind, I would say he holds little belief in himself. Unfortunately, though, I do not know the circumstances that led him to think like that. Regardless, under a solemn exterior, he is full of kindness. Honestly, everybody is great. Yeah, he is. So are you. And Woody, Vivi, and Quinn too. He must have been really nice to me ever since I got here. Even Emma, kinda. Now that is enough idle rest. I must take my watch and secure the perimeter of this establishment. Wait, you've barely had a break. You were running an errand? Though my respite was brief, the call of duty is constant. I will not delay in safeguarding you in this store. Lucille bowed low to you before leaving out the front door once again. Well, back to work, I guess. Dropped the full bucket of steaming soapy water onto the wooden floor, sighing as the weight left your shoulders. Phew, I wonder when the last time this floor got mop was. I always see Florian sweeping, but... You dragged the heavy mop across the floor, making long, looping motions. Cable, you wield that map with all the grace and the power of a master swordsman. However, if I may offer a suggestion... Please, I'm all ears. Lucille smiled and walked behind you, gently reaching around as if she was going to embrace you, but instead she took hold of the mop, her arms looped around your body. Delightful. Like this. With a gentle, graceful motion, she swirled the mop across the floor. The secret is not to swing, but to caress. The secret is not to swing, but to caress. The water should glide across the floor as effortlessly as the wind through the leaves. Didn't realize mopping was a part of being a knight. A knight must be able to wield any tool with grace. Long before I was allowed to hold a sword, I was instructed to hold a broom. So you're saying that once I've mastered the mop, you'll teach me how to swing a sword? It would be my greatest honour. Suppose that means you'll have to stop hugging me then. That's a bummer. At that, she pulled back suddenly and sharply, retracting her arms and standing upright. My apologies, Cable. That was not my intention. Please forgive my impropriety. No, it's fine. It's not every day a beautiful woman holds me close. I should be thanking you. Oh! Cable. That's me. Aw, Cable in this. You got that all riz. Oh, Jesus. That was a terrible joke. Lucille turned and cleared her throat. There was a slight pinkness to her cheeks. Leah laughed. It was such a delight to fluster Lucille. You took them up back in hand and tried to apply a technique. Oh, you're taking the piss. Handiwork check, DC 10. Your bonus is +1. That is... Okay, that's fine. Okay, I thought that was Snake Eyes for a second there. We're so back. That's really bad, actually. Maybe the floor was left glistening. The sunlight glinting off the wooden floor. Lucille really knew what she was talking about. Oh, you got a level up from that. Well, let's do that now. I'm thinking... Smarts. Store clearness increased by double. It's a little past 5 PM when you're sweeping a few stray leaves from the floor when the door is pushed open once again. Emmett, and then 5 more leaves join you, awaiting their inevitable sweeping. Greetings, Sir Emmett. You arrived at a most fortuitous time. Sir Florian and I were just debating over whether Cable would neglect to pay the bills or not this week. You're not supposed to tell anyone that. It's just between us. Do I look that forgetful? Do you want me to answer that honestly? Now I'm not sure. Emmett adjusted his glasses, pushing them up from the centre with his fingertips. No bills would go unpaid while I'm still contracted. What's that supposed to mean? Everything would fall apart if I fired you? Didn't say that, but you're free to assume that you will. Careful, you speak to me so nicely, people will think you actually enjoy my company. My apologies. Who wouldn't want that, My apologies. We wouldn't want that, would we? Now set up my computer at the counter, and we can go through your books together. I did bring my own laptop, if that would make things easier. It would stop me having to come and assist you every week, yes. Miss Marigold never did have any interest in technology. Aw, I miss hang out. Aw, I miss out on oh Jesus. Aw, I miss out on hanging with you. Perish the thought. I'd be happy to show you how to digitize your accounting yourself, and then there would be no need for me to come here every week. You'd save money and I would save time. That sounds like a win-win to me. Business owner to business owner. But what about your wonderful company? Could be used on another client, I assure you. Fine, it's upstairs. Should I bring it down? Upstairs is adequate. Quite a location might be a good idea. Emmett looked sideways to where Florian and Winnie were currently discussing a new movie that had just been released, and then towards Lucille, who was sharpening her sword. Probably a good idea. The two of you headed upstairs and into your apartment. Oh, that was quick. Home sweet home. Can I get you something to drink? Coffee would be fantastic, thank you. You crash down to look in the back of your aunt's cupboard. There are around a dozen different kinds of tea and beautiful little embossed tins with handwritten labels. Your aunt's handwriting? It sure looked like it. Pushing those aside, you found it looked like a 20-year-old container of instant coffee. Fair warning, I think the coffee is older than I am. Would you expect anything less from the owner of an antique store? Touche, I'm just saying, if you get poisoned, please don't sue me. All I have to pay you with is buttons and pocket lint. Can't say that clients tried to pay me with pocket lint before, but I've been known to accept buttons on occasion. You peered up to him and sat down at your kitchen table at some point, scrutinizing his face. Seriously? No, why would I accept buttons? It was a joke. That was actually kind of impressive how you could keep a completely straight face while joking. I thought maybe you worked at a button factory. I do, but they pay me by direct deposit. You do? No, there's no button factories anywhere near Willowmist. Alright, guy, how am I meant to know when you're joking, huh? You stood up, quickly pouring both Emmett and yourself a cup of the maybe perhaps kinda out-of-date instant coffee. Here's hoping it's still drinkable. You handed him the cup and placed your own down at the spot beside his, then connected your laptop, which was still open to Winnie's idle page. A fan of idols? If I could do the straight face, that'd be good. Is that an abrupt ending? Yes. Am I beyond caring a little bit? Also yes. I have been editing this single episode for the past 2 hours because the audio was slightly slower than the video. Like, I had matched it up on my end, but for whatever reason the audio was just a tiny bit too slow. Because of that, I had to slightly speed up the audio, which means that it's not a perfect fix, because by the end you can sort of see it catching up, despite me putting it up by 2%, which isn't a lot. But it's better than not being able to do it at all. Sorry for the minimal editing for this one. I would have edited more, but it's really annoying. Anyway, as per, you can download the Willowmist Emporium down below. I've linked it both. I've linked it both for itch and Steam. Otherwise, though, I'm very tired at the moment, so I am going to say, have a good one. See you later. I hope you had a lovely time, and I hope you have a lovely day. And all of that. Ta-ra.